I'm down in Reading today to meet Dr. Bob Khanna and to find out about a new generation of biostimulatory products. These are biostimulatory injectables, some are biofillers, and then there are the skin conditioning ones with polynucleotides, which is something everyone's talking about at the moment, but I don't know that much about. So I'm going to sit Dr. Bob down and ask him everything we need to know about all of this, and then we will watch a treatment being done and see how these things work in real time. So come along with me and we'll find out more. So Bob, what are these new biostimulators?
Alice, I have to say it's really exciting times right now because we have now the new range of biofillers that are available to us from Plurial. And then of course you've got the biostimulators utilizing predominantly polynucleotides, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Okay, so some of them are fillers, biofillers, and some of them are skin conditioning ones with polynucleotides.
Essentially,
right,
yes.
Okay, so can we talk about the biofillers first? What's a biofiller?
So these biofillers are the next generation of fillers, utilizing not just one, but 3 types of hyaluronic acid.
Right.
And the benefit of that is that now we can have a really seamless transition between the filler and the tissue so that we can get this beautiful moldability and also the sustained release of hyaluronic acid throughout the duration of the filler. Okay,
and they stimulate without having an added stimulating ingredient in there with the hyaluronic acid?
That's correct. Essentially, it works in this way. There's an element of what we call free hyaluronic acid within that particular syringe, which also works with the other 2 hyaluronic acids that are present to give rise to a sustained release throughout that tissue to improve hydration, to help collagen stimulation, elastin production, and also help with what we call the extracellular matrix. Okay. So in other words, from a patient's perspective, you get better hydration, better elasticity, better plumping in a sustained format, so that you get this seamless transition between the filler and the tissue. And that's really important because a lot of the time, as you know, Alice, you can get these step deformities, these lumps and bumps, which nobody really likes. And so it's a way of actually getting the plumping, the volumizing that we want, as well as that beautiful regeneration.
And does this come in different kind of viscosities or thicknesses for different parts of the face?
That is correct. So also you have different types of viscosities, as you've said, sort of very light viscosity, and a medium viscosity, and a heavier viscosity. And the benefit of that is that you can treat around the eyes, you can treat the nose, you can treat the mouth area, the jawline, the chin. Different thicknesses of tissue can be dealt with different viscosity of product.
And how long do these fillers last for?
So typically these fillers can last well over a year, depending on, of course, the particular metabolism of the patient, of course.
Okay, and all through that time, they're going to be improving the skin that they're within because of the way they work?
That's exactly right. So what you'll find is that the hydration, the elasticity, and the plumpness of the tissue will improve throughout that course.
Okay, so that's biofillers. And then the other kind of biostimulators that we've got are the ones that are more like skin conditioning, made with polynucleotides rather than hyaluronic acid. And these particular polynucleotides, they're derived from salmon sperm, aren't they? Why is that the chosen? Okay,
that is predominantly because the DNA contained is very closely resembles human DNA.
Okay, and the polynucleotides themselves, they're like stretchy sort of biopolymers, is that the right word? Stretchy molecules?
That is loosely correct. They don't just stimulate collagen's production from the cells that produce collagen, the fibroblasts, but they also help produce elastin. So we improve the elasticity of the tissue as well as the collagen. And then finally, they improve what we call the extracellular matrix. So we get improved hydration, we get a reduction in inflammation and swelling, we get a beautiful firmness to the tissue, and improving the texture, the tone, the turgidity of the tissue.
Okay.
So the overall effect is a really powerful regeneration of the tissue that these products are placed into.
We've all got to know the kind of skin boosters that are made from hyaluronic acid that are injected very superficially, but these are different. What are their advantages?
Okay, the advantages really are that unlike HA, they do a lot more.
Okay.
And so what they're doing is actually helping produce collagen, elastin, and also improving the extracellular matrix. Whereas HA really does this in a very, very light way, and is quite restricted, quite frankly.
Okay.
So what we're able to do is really optimize the condition of the skin by tackling this on many fronts.
Okay, and so they are giving a really proper biostimulation of the skin, but it's not just the skin, is it, on the face? Because can you use them in the hair?
That's right. So let's understand that we can use this around the eyes. Okay. So there's a particular product that is formulated just for dark circles around the eyes. Wow. That's the L'Oreal Silk.
Okay.
And then there's the L'Oreal Densify, which is used in the area around the mouth for the sort of Marriott lines, the nose to mouth lines, and the sort of tiny little lines, smoker's lines we often call them. And then there's another product called Biosculpture, which is also a very, very light cross-linked filler, which can be used fairly superficially to help with those really stubborn lines. And then, of course, as you said, we've got the hair product, which helps improve the density of the hair, particularly useful in males and females that are suffering from hair loss.
So polynucleotides for the hair, polynucleotides for the body?
Also for the body. So for any area, any area of skin laxity, such as the knees, the elbows, mummy tummy, for example, very, very useful for helping improve the tightness and firmness of the tissue.
Okay, so you've been working with these things for a while, haven't you? Because I know you've been helping various companies develop the products along the way. And what sort of results are you seeing that put them in a different category to the things we've had before?
Yeah, so I'm seeing a vast improvement in the elasticity, the hydration of the skin in a very short period of time. Generally, you'll have 3 sessions, as you would with a lot of these type of skin booster type treatments. So usually 3 to 4 weeks apart. What we're finding, even after 1 session, there's a vast improvement that we've seen. As you know, I do a lot of mapping using sophisticated tools so that we can actually analyze this, not just on photographs, but actually in a very meaningful way. So we're seeing some real improvements very, very quickly.
The speed is amazing, because a lot of skin boosters, you've got to wait like 3 months to see things coming through. But this is a matter of weeks.
Within weeks, you will start seeing a vast improvement.
But I think we're going to go and try this on a patient of yours now, aren't we?
Correct. Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually do a full face treatment, utilising a lot of the products within the range.
Biofillers and polynucleotides.
And I'll talk you through exactly why I'm using which product and how to actually do this.
Lovely, thank you. Because it's really complicated trying to get my head around all these different new versions that are similar to things we've had before, but they're different and they work in different ways and they give different results slightly. But it's all about getting the best result for the patient, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's really important to look at the evidence that surrounds a lot of these new products rather than sort of rely on just marketing from companies. So there's some really solid data that we have with regard to all of these products that I'm going to be showcasing.
Fantastic. And I know you're teaching around the world on all of this, aren't you? So with all that data at your back. Yeah.
Absolutely. We're going to build a little bit of volume just into the tear trough area, deep, and also the central cheek. And we're going to use BioVolume, which is a biostimulatory filler. And we're going to place this deep into tissue here. This is the deep fat compartment. And we're going to place this just underneath the muscle. I'm going to lift and plump this whole area. And remember, these are 3 types of HA in this area. And this product is just perfect for actually nestling into that wonderful fibrotic fat bringing about this beautiful plumpness to the central cheek and just underneath into the tear trough region. We're now going to place L'Oreal Silk superficially to aid the dark circle.
Gosh, you can see exactly where that's gone, yeah.
So now I'm going to place this very superficially, as you can see. Completely different layer. Can you see how superficial I am? There. And that's precisely where I want some of these beautiful polynucleotides. So that completes the augmentation on this side, see? So you've now got the benefit of the augmentation, the filling of this mid-facial area, tear trough in the mid-facial area, and then the superficial work, which is normally not accessible by any filler. We certainly don't want to be placing filler that superficially. We're going to place a combination of Bioclassic and Silk mixed together, and this lower part we're going to use L'Oreal Densify, which is pure polynucleotides with uncross-linked hyaluronic acid. So very, very light hyaluronic acid. The benefit of that is we'll get rejuvenation in this area without plumping, because we want to avoid any plumping in this area, but we do need some plumping in the nasolabial area. So that's why I'm going to upgrade to the classic, the Bioclassic, to give it a little bit of oomph, so that we have the benefits of the polynucleotides as well as the biofiller. And that's a really interesting cocktail of goodness. So we're going to have a combination of the Silk and the Bioclassic. What we're going to do is we're going
in the
to
same syringe?
Correct, yeah.
Oh.
You can see there, look, if you watch, I'm actually going to mix the polynucleotides into the Bioclassic. So that's the Silk and the Bioclassic. So this will make the filler slightly thinner, easier to inject, but also give it a powerhouse of polynucleotides to help with rejuvenation, regeneration, as well as being able to plump the area. Okay. There. So we're now just subdermals, just underneath the skin, and the top layer of fat. And we're going to place a little bit of product to help plump this area.
And mixing the L'Oreal Silk polynucleotides into the biostimulating filler, what's that adding? It's making it more fluid. Yeah,
but also giving the opportunity of this already very stimulating filler, the opportunity to be even more powerful when it comes to regeneration. So sort of adding the benefits of the polynucleotides in this area. So you'll help the skin, you'll improve the skin quality, as well as actually plump the area which needs plumping in this nasolabial area, but not too much.
Terrific.
Because obviously if you put a very aggressive filler in this area, it can look very chipmunky.
For sure.
So what we're now going to do is use L'Oreal Densify in this lower compartment. And the reason I have elected not to use any form of filler is because we don't want to over augment this area, particularly in a female. It can look very masculinizing. So what we want is actually some really powerful regeneration of the tissue, some skin tightening. So this is where L'Oreal Densify comes into its own, because it's a combination of polynucleotides and very, very light hyaluronic acid, and using some uncross-linked hyaluronic acid. And if you're really particularly interested, it's stabilized by a product called mannitol, which helps to prolong the duration of the hyaluronic acid. So this is very important, what I'm doing right now. I'm going straight across this so-called marionette crease. Yeah. This is very important to add some scaffolding, like so. Yeah. It's really important. You see what I'm doing? Yep. Laying down.
Like struts on a ladder.
You got it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use L'Oreal Silk for these lovely necklines that most of us hate, and unfortunately they do get worse with age. So this is a very light polynucleotide mixture. This is 7.5 milligrams per ml, and you see what we're going to do is we're going to lay down some droplets.
So that was a full face and neck rejuvenation with Plurial biofillers and nucleotides. So I hope that has helped explain the whole category for you. And that after picture only took 2 weeks because these things act really quickly, though I'm told the results will go on getting better for months to come. Hope you've enjoyed watching.